There's huge pike in this lake. Zach can catch monster pike. He invited Gunther and I. We've never caught humongous pike.
What an absolute monster!
Oh, look at that fish! Every day we've caught big fish, and that's really incredible. It really speaks to the fishery.
So that's actually scary, that thing.
You really have no idea how big these fish really are until you're actually here and you see them for yourself.
Oh, dude, gosh.
Scorpion Optics presents How to Hunt with Ryan Kohler, brought to you by Bronc Beer, Elite Sportswear, Annihilator, Rhino Skin, TV Mart, Hex, Easton Archery, Hoyt, Hornady, Portable Winch Co., true power in your hands, and these fine sponsors.
This episode of How to Hunt is brought to you by the great people at the Fishing Hole.
This is the first fish.
Oh, okay.
It's a fish.
There we go.
There you go. You got the leader.
Okay, you got him. Coming up.
Coming up, Gunther.
Coming up. Coming up.
Hey, it's a northern pike. Right on. Well done, Ryan. Well, we just finished dropping off barrels for Gunther's Bear Camp. Brought the quad up, loaded all our meat, all our oil, all our grease, got everything all ready to go. And we figured, well, we got a few more months till Bear Camp, about a month and a half. And we decided to go ice fishing.
There's huge pike in this lake. Zach can catch monster pike. He invited Gunther and I. We've never caught humongous pike.
This lake is awesome. I mean, it's a secluded lake in northern Alberta, sometimes southern Alberta. There's a lot of big fish here. We've caught some big ones. We got this whole area mapped out. We know exactly where they're coming and going. Should be some big pike. We're hoping on some walleye. The walleye's a little tough this time of year. They're moving back and forth, but we're pretty sure we should get dialed in on some big pike. So stay tuned. Oh, what?
Whoa, we're spooled.
There's a fish there.
Not a groundhog or something?
Not a groundhog. That's a cool noise. He's probably like 12 pounds. Like 12 pounds, 35 inches, 34 inches. Not too bad. You can let her go. Come on, swim away. Cool. Well, the most important thing about pike fishing is your tip up. Number one, you gotta have good line. We're using a 100-pound line here. You can get away with thinner, but the biggest thing is making sure the thickness isn't going to cut your hands. Second of all, you need a good leader. We're using fluorocarbon. This is 40 pounds. You could get away with a little bit less, maybe even more, but what I find is you want this to sit straight. You don't want it to kink. The thicker the fluorocarbon, usually that's going to affect how straight that sits. So hence we went with 40. The biggest thing with fish is obviously the safety of them, making sure they survive and they swim off. So a one treble system is what we use. You also got your Fraybill tip-up system. Obviously, this is all found at the fishing hole. Tall flag is important. If you're, 50 yards away or there's snow around, you're not gonna see that. When that flag comes up, boom, you know you got your fish on. I like using that swivel because that's going to spin freely if that fish wants to turn around. There's no conflicting factor there. If you had a knot, that might come back to bite you. Hence why I went with the swivel.
7:30 a.m. on Zach's super special lake. Got a tip up already, and you can see the fish is taking it. I can feel the fish, the weight of the fish. Just give it a little bump. So we're gonna try and be as nice to these fish as possible. It's all catch and release here for the walleye and the pike.
Oh, legs up. Here, keep this up. It's going down now. Yeah, dude. It's not a little one. No.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What the heck is that?
Okay.
Oh, holy cow. This is a big fish, dude. Oh, look at that fish. Look at that fish.
Look at that. That's so cool. Good job, dude. Wow.
It was a giant pike. It was something else to see that big head coming out through the hole. And you just pull it out and it just keeps coming and coming. Real exciting. I thought it was way bigger than Zach is guessing, but it was a giant, well over 20 pounds. Quite a treat. And it's not just a one-time thing here. It's happened all weekend. Every day we've caught big fish, and that's really incredible. It really speaks to the fishery.
Last but not least, we got our bait. When you get these baits, you have sometimes snow, sometimes ice in the eyes. So you want to clear that out. Sometimes you'll have a little bit of filament. I just scraped that off. Big thing, upside down. You could do belly up. You could do on the bottom. We do suspended, center, like so. Another thing is the fins. You always want the fins to be out. I want this sticking out. I want the tail splayed. Any little bit extra thing you can do to make it look more lifelike. With those big funky fish, they are very, very particular. They're gonna want something that is easy and looks something like they would eat. That's why we go through all that extra effort with the presentation, because every little bit matters.
Oh wow, there's just a jumbo.
Where's he's back. He's back. He's back. That's a
Oh yeah,
dude.
take that.
Dude.
You're free spooled. Take it.
He is wide all the way through,
Yeah.
dude. Like it's a square. Did you see him sucked it back? Oh, that was cool. He's gonna come back.
Yeah, he's interested.
He's interested. Oh, dude, rush. Oh, he's so wide through. My biggest takeaway from this trip, I think, is just the consistency of a lake that is catch and release. When you come up just for the sake of keeping fish, unfortunately, it can decimate the numbers, and the fish don't have the abilities to get big. Obviously, at a lake like this, it's strictly catch and release. These fish are getting let back, they're able to grow, and that's why we can come out here and catch fish of a lifetime, let them go, knowing that other people can enjoy them too. But yeah, I mean, it's cool to see it year after year. I mean, I've been here for a few years now, and the lake is still the same, which is cool to see.
Look at this minnow. I mean, giant.
Dude, giant. Another one. It's two. Nature's finest.
What an incredible fish, Hebe.
A little bit of a head shake.
Getting close. It's turning in the hole. It's not the bow zone, but Gunther's in his element here.
But it's super awesome!
That's awesome, dude. That's a good fish. Nothing wrong with him. Little pin. People always think what you need a drill for. There's many things you need a drill for. Number one is the tip-up system. This top peg comes off. You attach your drill here, and then when you do have that fish and it's spooled up and it took all your line, that's all out in the ice. You got your drill, Milwaukee, DeWalt, doesn't matter. I'm gonna attach to the end. That's attached. We got that, and then that's just gonna spool right up. Another good reason for your drill is to tie down your tent. Most tents all come with peg system, and to attach that you need a special attachment. What we use here is an Eskimo attachment. All the different tents manufacturers make something like this, and that basically attaches to your drill, goes over top of your peg, sits like this, and that's gonna drill directly into the ice. Very important. Here we're windy. Our tent's almost blown away. If we didn't have these, definitely wouldn't work. I bring Larry because she's got a very comfortable life. Larry sits at home, she's got her own cat bed, she's got her own cat treat, she doesn't feel any cold. She's got it too good. And I like to make her uncomfortable, keep her guessing, make her growing mentally and spiritually. And I think by doing that, bring her out there, we're able to see that increase just tenfold.
Do you plan on eating the cat at any point in time?
I did get an offer to go on a show that required survival. One of my survival items I thought would be Larry, and then inevitably on day 20, day 25, I would eat Larry. I think the advantages of the meat as well as the hide would provide warmth and food, so it's definitely crossed my mind.
The biggest pike I ever caught before this trip was probably when I was 18 or 19 years old. I had just got my belly boat, I had just got my fly rod, and I made my own flies, went out there and caught maybe a 10 or 11 pound pike. You know, realistically maybe it was 7 or 8 pounds, but to me it was a 10, 11 pound pike back then.
Small fish don't get pumped like that.
Nice fish there.
Oh my good God.
Zach, what is that? Oh my God.
Did the head difference now, Ryan?
That's a big head.
I have never ever been able to been this lucky to catch a fish like I caught. Like I honestly had no idea it was going to be that big.
Wow. Having the proper bait set, having the proper line, proper everything results in big fish. Ryan today had a huge fish, and all these little things end up in that result. If you have one nicked fluorocarbon leader, you have some bad line, you got a bad swivel, bad anything, you end up losing big fish. We had all those things checked off, and Ryan ended up getting a big one.
Oh wow.
We're gonna show you a proper presentation of how you want that bait to look below the ice. We got our tip up, we got our camera. This one we're using right now is a markup camera. It allows you to basically learn a lot. I mean, you'll be able to see the different fish, see how they react. That's where we're able to notice the differences of having that bait set a certain way, because then you can see how the fish reacts to that. So we're gonna show you how to do that. Typically what I like is 6 to 8 inches off a bottom. What we noticed this week, which thanks to the camera, is that when we were banging the bottom and bringing it back up, fish were just hearing those vibrations and hearing that noise and coming and checking it out. All right, so you can see your baits just a little bit lower. You can lay them on bottom. Obviously, every lake's different. All the fish are different. Everybody's got their own preference. If something works and you have confidence, that's the number one thing when it comes to fishing. Obviously, you want to learn from everybody else, but at the end of the day, you got to trust what you're using, and what you're using works. Lay it down, put our flag.
Definitely a decent fish on the end of this. Okay, yeah. I don't know if you saw that, but that fish now just realized that there's a hole here. Yeah, okay, big fish coming up here. Bring it back up to the hole. Then pinch it. And then pull up an absolute monster. Man, oh man, look at this. This is my second giant of the day. It's a great big fish, for sure 20 pounds. Zach taught me some really good stuff. Really good tip would be to make sure that you don't keep it out of the water very long. Try Try not to let it thrash around. Let its head come up and take it out easy. I'm gonna put it back in the hole now and then try and get the hook out safely. So now this fish is free to go. Her head in, slide her along the ice. Hold on to the tail. And I'm just gonna hold on to her like this. She's starting to kick now. There it is. Yes! Landed a monster, released a monster. Awesome.
Another good reason to bring your drill along with your pegs and your auger is your pistol flight. With this system and hook up to any drill, you're gonna need a high-end drill, a hammer drill. This is a Milwaukee. You can use a high-end DeWalt. But the biggest thing is the lightness of this. I mean, these thing weighs maybe 5 pounds. Your average auger is gonna weigh over 30. There's no gas needed. All you need is a good battery or a couple of them. You can do different 5 amps or 8 amps depending on what you want. A simple attachment goes on over top. Lock that into place. You're fishing. So the lightness of this, the easiness, you don't gotta worry about, navigating or transporting an auger. Everything you need to drill holes is right here. Biggest thing, when you get on the ice, I'll drill a hole sometimes 6 times on my way to my spot if it's new ice or it's ice that I'm not familiar with. So we're just gonna test the ice depth, make sure it's safe. For a vehicle, I don't like anything less than 15. Everybody's got their own comfort levels, but if you're using a full-size truck, keep with that 15 range. If you're just driving, or just walking, then obviously you're okay with about 8 to 10 inches. But I always go better safe than sorry. At the end of the day, no fish is worth losing your truck over. So we're just gonna test the ice, see what kind of depth we're dealing with. So we got lots of ice here, way over 24 inches, which is plenty enough to be driving the truck on. So we're good to go. We're gonna keep driving out to our spot. And obviously this is the pistol bit, Eskimo bit from Fishing Hole. Really easy, super lightweight. You can take this off, put it in your backpack, carry it over your shoulder. No gas needed, super lightweight, easy to use.
First flag of the morning.
You want to clear all the obstacles away, whether that's stuff inside your tent or outside. You want to get all that extra snow that comes from making a hole away from the hole for 2 reasons. Number 1 is to see your flag when you want to go up, no obstacles. And when you're pulling that line up, that ends up spooling and sometimes getting stuck in around the snow and extra ice. That clears it away. The third reason too is for fish safety. When you bring that fish up, if there's all that hard ice around, because sometimes fish do end up flopping, you want that area cleared and as smooth as possible. Any of those sharp edges will end up hurting the fish, and obviously at the end of the day, fish preservation is number 1. Well guys, our last night out, the lake's literally melting below us. Last night bite, and we got a fish on. There we go. Ryan's catching all these big fish on his own. This is what he's leaving for us, but we'll take it. You want to get over here, got like when he's coming up.
We fished until midnight, 11 o'clock I think is when that fish hit the tip up. Oh, from what I knew, pike don't bite at night like that. I figured they just laid down the bottom and slept, but this huge fish took that tip up.
It's a big fish. Oh wow, that's big. That's a big fish. I thought he was off. He came right up.
Yeah. Oh, whoa, man. That is scary. I had no idea what to expect. You really have no idea how big these fish really are until you're actually here and you see them for yourself. No, that's actually scary, that thing. What is that? Oh no.
It's bad.
Oh my god.
That's our view.
What is that, dude? That's an alligator. I don't even want to go near that thing. When I looked down the hole for the first time and I saw that head, I am not kidding. I was kind of frightened. The hole size is super big. Most guys use an 8-inch hole. It's a 10-inch hole, and the head of this pike is almost filling the entire hole, and the belly is coming up, and I mean, it was a monster. It looked like a dinosaur. It was really cool. One of the coolest things I've seen.
That's why we came here, dude. He's heavy. It's all.
Oh,
See that? You move with him.
Yeah.
We're gonna run back live well so we can get the picture with me and Larry and maybe a little video.
What's this? Wow. Go check it out. Yeah, well, Larry's not gonna eat this one. We're gonna let her go. Oh, she's feisty. Got the mats. Let's release. Head first. Still for the 10-inch one, pretty good. That's so cool. Oh. Some way, girl. There she goes. Pretty cool. Gotta love it.
Well, Zach, your spot was unreal. I mean, that was cool. Gunther caught a smasher. We all caught multiple giant pike, like really huge fish. That's amazing.
I mean, it just speaks volumes to a fish. It's catch and release only. Big pike have the ability to grow to 20, 30 years old. We got some giant fish. It's super fun being a part of other people's personal best, seeing the excitement. Awesome trip. Didn't get any walleye. Potentially next year, maybe even later in the season, we'll have some walleye for you guys, but it's been an awesome trip.
Scorpion Optics presents How to Hunt with Ryan Kohler. Brought to you by Bronc Beer, Elite Sportswear, Annihilator, Rhino Skin, PV Mart, Hex, Easton Archery, Hoyt, Hornady, Portable Winch Co., true power in your hands, and these fine sponsors.
This episode of How to Hunt is brought to you by the great people at the Fishing Hole.